speaker is going to be sharing a story about one young engineer who went through a bitter experience in his life. How did this influence him to transform? Who is he? What are his contributions to the community and to the country? Let us hear from our first speaker today, Mohan Padamati.
A bitter experience can make a person go off track and lose the career or transform into a great leader or entrepreneur. Madam Toastmaster, honored guests and members. One young engineer whose name was Murthy from India, South India, was on a business trip to Europe. One day he was going by train and was engaged in a conversation with a girl who could speak only French. Accompanying with her, there was a boy who got upset with their conversation and went out and brought the police. Police thought that both of them, this Murthy and that girl, were criticizing government which was communist in nature. They grabbed him on the platform along with his luggage and put him in a small room with primitive toilet facilities. Murthy was expecting for a nice breakfast next day morning, but no luck. He waited there for 3 days without eating anything, without even drinking a water. Police took him out and took him to railway platform and pushed him into the guards of a goods train that was moving slowly. Those guards showed his passport and told, since you are from a friendly country, India, we are letting you go, but we are going to hand over this passport when you reach Istanbul. This Murthy was hardcore leftist, we call communist. He thought only way you can bring equality in society or any country was through socialism. With this bitter experience, he returned to India, lost hopes on this socialistic, leftistic thinking, and started to do something different. He started a small company named Softronics and worked hard to make it a big company. No luck. Same time, he was in a love with one electrical engineer who was working for Tatas. She also went through little bit of experience similar to Murthy, but not that hard. She applied for this Tatas. You might have all heard about Tata Group in India. She applied for it and she got a reply by saying that since you are a woman, we are rejecting your resume. She got upset and wrote an email to, in those days it was a mail. She wrote an mail to CEO of the company. He called her after a few days and interviewed for 2 hours and selected her. This Murthy and Sudha both went to her parents and proposed their wedding plans. Her daddy was not at all comfortable with their salary and savings. Murthy came back and joined a company called Patni. Today it is a part of Capgemini as a general manager and started a company which I am going to share later in 1981. When he registered the company and applied for a phone, he had to wait for 1 year to get a telephone, home phone, which is a landline. And he applied for a license to perform the business. He waited for 3 years to get the license to import a computer from US. Fast forwarding 1990, India opened the gates for financial reforms by P.V. Narasimha Rao, who was a prime minister. Murthy brought 7 other partners and he never looked back. He traveled by bus, sometimes he walked, sometimes he used his scooter to go to different customers and get the inputs, code that and deliver the products. When people asked him, what made you to grow? He said, I always spent less than what I earned. In 1999, this company was listed in Nasdaq. He washed his toilet because his daddy told, for you to get the toilets cleaned, you have to call people who are poor or below poverty level. Murthy said, no, I don't want to see them and feel bad about that. Let me clean my own toilet. First 1,000 employees of this company were given employees stock option, ESOP we call it. All of them became multimillionaires, including his car driver. Can you make a guess? Who is this? What is this company? Infosys. It is a $106 billion company. Forbes called him as a father of IT world. Today, when you think about India, 2 industries come into anyone's mind. Number 1 is pharmaceuticals. Most of the medicines, even we use in US, come from India, designed by US companies, but manufactured by India. Second most developing and of course growing industry is IT. We simply take China for manufacturing and India for information technology. You see millions of engineers trying to come to US and make their career. Coming back to Murthy, he defined the phrase called Global Delivery Model, GDM. Today, there are a lot of chapters in IIMs, similar to management schools in US. Offshoring, onshoring, nearshoring, all those terms were defined by him. His wife and he have been continuing doing social service and they spend millions of dollars towards educating people and providing medical support to India. I forgot to tell you one thing. The first money, seed money to start this business, Infosys, in 1981 came from Sudha, his current wife. She gave $250 in those days. It is 10,000 rupees in 1981. Today, it is $106 billion company and IBM, just to compare, IBM is $113 billion company. Why did I take this? I worked in Pune. This company was started in Pune. He moved everything into Bangalore because Bangalore is considered as Silicon Valley of India. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Mohan. I always end up learning something every time you give us a speech. I always enjoy it. Thank you very much.